Everyone's saying AI could build an app in seconds, but I don't buy it. As an engineer who learned the hard way, I know tech can do a lot, but building something real, that's different. So I'm putting the hype to the test. I'm giving myself 2 hours to build a fully narrated AI storybook for my daughters. The catch? I won't write a single line of code, just prompts, AI tools, and my engineering instincts. If I fail, maybe the hype is overblown. But if I win, bedtime at my house changes forever. Just me, 2 hours, and no code. The clock starts now. Alright, here's what has to happen. The app needs to generate a full story, make it sound personal with custom characters and life lessons, and then bring it to life with narration. Gemini is writing the story, ElevenLabs is giving the voice, and Copilot is helping me build the entire thing. Sounds simple? Alright, but getting all of that working together in 2 hours? Let's just see where this goes. Let's go ahead and start prompting Copilot. I want to build a story generator using Gemini API for the story creation and ElevenLabs for the narration. These stories should be geared towards young children, include no violence, and teach practical lessons. These lessons should be on friendship, kindness, being a leader, being proud of who you are, and etc. There can also be various themes which can also be chosen by the user alongside the lesson, as well as characters that can be input. The tech stack will be Next.js and Tailwind CSS. Alright, looks like we're getting our project scaffolded. Alright, cool. So this has already updated some character inputs. Let's see what this scene looks like. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Logos 3000. Oh, wait. You know what? I forgot to start the project. Let's go ahead and do that. npm run. Let's see what we got here. And this thing is pretty bare bones, but we got friendship, kindness, leadership, proud of who you are, helping others, sharing, being curious, zoo adventure, magic forest. Alright, so these are pretty basic. Let's get this updated. And this page is pretty ugly. Alright, so let's get this updated. But first, let's take a look at the code we got. Alright, so everything here was generated by Copilot. So not too bad. Let's see what we can get updated though. But first, we need a .env file, right? Moment of truth. We put our keys in. Let's see if this works. Next thing I notice is Copilot didn't follow the directions on story length. We can't select our story length here. But let's just see what they give us here. Story generation failed. What's going on? Why? Alright. Let's copy this and see if Copilot can resolve that for us. I'm seeing the following error in the console. Also, we're unable to select the length of the story. I want to be able to choose between short and medium length stories. Let's see what it does for us. Alright, for us to be 30 minutes in, this isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. I mean, we got a working, almost working app. I mean, it builds, right? So that's something. Let's build it and let's see how that's updated. I mean, now we can pick our story length. That's a good sign. So let's go for kindness, magic forest, and yeah, these. Oh, all right. Let's see what Copilot can do with it. All right, so it says the API call matches Gemini's REST API specification. Let's see if that's true. We're checking it out. All right, let's refresh. We're gonna just leave it like this. Let's generate our story. What are we getting back? In the heart of Sunny Meadow Zoo lived two very special friends. All right, what a story! What a story. Very short for a medium length story. All right. Let's get you to update that. But we got something back, so that's a good sign. Let's see what we got. Will it work this time? Okay, I mean, we got a story back. Very short, a very short story. Let's try this with a medium. I mean, we're getting a story back. It's just very incomplete. He glanced up and saw Luna. So the next thing, let's see what our update here does for us. Will we get a complete short story about Luna and Max? All right, so this is not working out. So we're about an hour in, maybe a little over, and finally we got the story generated. It took us a while, but we got there. And yeah, I mean, we got us a working story, but now it's time to add some narration, and hopefully we have some time to update this styling because it is ugly. Yeah, this isn't child friendly, right? So let's get this updated. This is where things started getting messy, and instead of making you sit through the entire process, I'll just tell you what happened. At this point, I'd already gone through prompt after prompt trying to get everything working, but the errors just kept coming. First, the audio generation failed, then I ran into an issue with my API key. After that, Gemini continued to come back with incomplete stories, or it wouldn't even bother coming back with one at all. This caused me to hit the limits of the free plan, so I was forced to upgrade just to keep going. So what's my point? I say all of this to say, this is the part people don't really show you when they talk about building AI apps. It's not just type one prompt and you're done. You still have to troubleshoot, rethink prompts, and iterate. Basically, you have to guide AI toward the result you actually want. Now, here's the worst part. I looked at the timer and realized I only had 30 minutes left. At this point, I wasn't even sure if the thing was going to come together in time. But eventually, things finally started to click. The stories finally started generating consistently and the narration was working. And once things finally stabilized, I decided to have Copilot fix that ugly styling. Ava and Ivy. R2. Eat sweets. Okay. We got our audio.
Ava and Ivy were two sisters who loved sweets.
All right. I mean, this is good. This is good. All right. Are we going to get us a working app deployed? Let's find out. All right. Let's find out if this app deploys successfully and works when it's deployed. All right. Looks like it's successful. Let's find out. Do we get us a story? Yep, audio generation failed, but we got us a story. That's probably just I hit my limit here, so gotta update to the paid API. But otherwise, we got us a working app deployed within 2 hours. Yeah, I think I'd call this challenge complete. So here's the end result. In less than 2 hours, I was able to build a fully narrated AI storybook for my daughters without writing a single line of code. And honestly, that's pretty cool. But was it as simple as people online make it seem? Definitely not. There were failed generations, broken audio, API issues, prompt rewrites, and a lot of trial and error. But I think that's the real lesson. AI is powerful, but it still needs direction. It still takes problem solving, iteration, and someone to guide the process toward a real outcome. And that's what surprised me the most about this challenge. I didn't feel like AI was replacing my engineering, but if anything, it amplified it. And the coolest part, 2 hours ago, this app didn't exist. Now, my daughters can generate personalized bedtime stories with narration specifically for them. And I might not need to read another bedtime story again. That I see as a win, but I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.